My name is Jennifer Rowe, but I like to be called Jenny. I work at Leeds Sixth Form College at Park Lane. My role is SSRO. That means Student Safety Relations Officer. I support students to engage in education. I also support students with mental health issues. And I also run events for students as well, to keep them engaged, also to do with what's going on in the world as well. My heritage is African Caribbean. My background is youth work, and that's what I did. So when this job came up, it kind of fitted into the kind of work that I did, supporting students. For me, I'm passionate about getting young people to engage in education, getting young people to have the confidence, giving them just empowering them to be who they should be in life. I've done it for a long time as a youth worker, so I've worked with many students, many young people who've come back to me, that are in their 30s now, and introducing me to their children. And I'm kind of gone, wow, a little bit, because I'm feeling a little bit old. But you see that you had, even if it's a little part to play in that person's life, you played it. Even if it was encouragement, even if it was, trying to empower them, you played that little part in that. I think right now what is challenging is that we have a lot of students that have mental health issues, and it's trying to make sure that you give them the help and the support and encouragement that they need, and showing that you're always there if they need you and that you are accessible to them, and also having that information so that I can pass them on to the relevant agencies that need to happen. So that is challenging right now that I'm working with. I've looked at it and kind of understood what I needed, so I've booked myself onto a mental health course to make sure that I can give the best. I always believe in the thing is that if I don't know it, I will find somebody out there that knows it, and that's what I've always worked with. I think my proudest achievement here will be that I met a student who, he didn't talk much, he didn't engage with any students of his own age. Yes, he had issues at home, but working with him, he started talking, he made friends with other students, talking to his teachers, which he never did, even when he was finding it difficult. And he's now gone to uni, and sometimes you shouldn't, but you sometimes feel like that proud mother because you've taken them steps with that person, and now that person is now going to uni and he's now going on to his next step of his future. And I'm proud of that. I really am proud of that.
Yeah.
And I've told him to keep in touch because I want to know where he ends up. I've had a lot of people that have mentored me. Because when I started youth work, it was my cousin, because she did the youth work first. And she showed me that, you've got to have patience, you've got to have, to encourage young people, and you've got to be non-judgmental. You've got to start from a point is that, okay, I've met you for the first time, and I'll take what you've got, and I will try and help anyway. And then all the way through, I've always had somebody who has supported me. So when I'm here, I've got one of the staff members that support me here. So when I'm kind of like maybe having them bad days, or them days when things are not going right, I can have that conversation with that person. And and that makes me feel like, okay, I've got someone to talk to. So yeah, I do have somebody here, but I've also got other people that still mentor me now, even though I've done this job for years, because I always say that because you've done the job for years, you've still got learning in that to come. So I will always keep on learning. It would be that, like when they say everyone is equal, that equal opportunity happen for everybody. That's with gender, race, sexuality, that everybody would be treated the same, that everybody would have that step up in the ladder, that it wouldn't be the fact is that because of your sexuality, your ethnicity, that you have to work twice as hard or you have to shout the loudest to be heard. I want that, when we work, that we see that, there's mentors in college, in schools, at work, where you can say, yeah, I can see that I can reach the ladder. Not the fact is that, okay, then this is where I'm going to be. And if I make noise, then I will be seen as being aggressive or something else. Life is worth living, and life has experience, and we all come with different experience. And I think that sometimes we should be given the opportunity to show that. My work history outside is that I have a big family, and we all seem to have adapted to the same kind of working with the community. So within Bradford, where I live, is that my family works with the community. So we've done Black History Month, we've done events at the Alhambra as youth workers, we've put on events for, young people. As a youth worker, I've run a all-black youth group. I've also run a men's group, black men's group, and I've also run a girls' youth group. I've worked with different communities. So for me, it's like, I get it, I understand, because each community might be different, but the same agenda is the same. It might come 5 or 10 years down the line, but it's the same barrier that they come across. So, I always see myself as a support system. I will help anybody who asks for help, or if somebody needs an ear to listen to. That's how I see myself. I see myself as, if I can help somebody get up the ladder, I will help them. If I can't, I must know a person that can help or can, direct. That's where I've always looked at things. I think in life, the one thing that you should do is hold your hand out and give that person a lift up. And that's how I live my life. Black History Month means my parents, who I am and where I come from. It's about talking about my history and people understanding how hard it was for my ancestors and what they went through to get here, and how they've overcome and how they've achieved what they've achieved, and how proud you should be to be black and to have such a rich history within music, within films, within our culture itself. Okay, we all come from different islands, but we have something that joins us together, and we should be proud of that.